Guys, welcome back to The Bomb, the Business of Music Breakdown. And today we are talking about the importance of style and imaging. Is that the right way of putting it? And we have an expert in the area of image and styling, Donna Kennedy-Meyer, with 14 years of experience in the industry, lived abroad. Donna, thank you very much for joining us on The Bomb.
Thank you.
We look forward to chatting to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having
welcome. Thank you for joining us. So it's the business of music, but I think it's equally important, and that's why we wanted to speak with you as well, in presenting yourself to the public, and why image is important and styling is important. Maybe some people don't think it is, but that's, I think, why we want to have the conversation today. So maybe just to kick us off, Donna, a simple question is just, what is styling and image consulting? I know you are a private style consultant.
Yes.
What is that? What do you do?
Okay, so I am a private style consultant. Some would call me a image consultant as well. I prefer to be known as a style consultant because I've done the latest, more advanced course in color analysis. And it's more than the old way of doing color. In the past, they would analyze you to be a summer, a winter, autumn, and a spring. It's got nothing to do with seasons of the year. It's got to do with specific coloring for specific, so summer colors and winter colors.
It's groupings of colors.
It's groupings of colors. So I did the more advanced course in 2010. And I just don't want to be... when people think about me, associate me with the old way of doing coloring, such as image consultant. So, I would say if you ask me what does an image consultant do, or a private style consultant, it's probably somebody that would, depending on your specific training that you had, advise people in terms of coloring, or colors that suits them, advise them on shapes, styles that suits their specific body types, and also give advice with regards to makeup, hairstyles that apply to them, because you look at face shapes, hair coloring. I find that very few people actually have the right hair color for their specific skin tone. So you advise according to hair color, hairstyle, makeup, clothing, and all that.
Mouthful.
It's a lot of things that you have to...
So let's drop the bomb. Why do you think it's important to look good and that you have the right color and the right styling?
So in the past, you normally had 7 seconds to make a good first impression. But in today's very fast-paced lifestyle, you only have 3 seconds to make a good first impression. And I think lots of people undermine, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Underestimate
the importance of good first impressions. But if you think about, if you are standing at a cocktail party and there's 3 lawyers or 3 doctors or, 3 financial advisors standing there, and you need to go and get a business card. Normally, people would form a perception based on the way people look in order to go and ask for a business card, without even asking your credentials or what's your name. So you form a perception on people based on the way they dress and the way they look. So, I think it's very important in the workplace to look the part.
I just think it's something we're really, really uninformed about.
Yes, and it latches, to the next question that I want to ask, and that is, I know, Donna, that you have a lot of experience in working with celebrities, working with people in the various industries, and I think the music industry as well. And the question is, why do they need someone like you? Why can they not just do it themselves?
So I think very few people have the natural ability in order to dress themselves when it comes to styles and colors that suit them. And I find lots of women actually need the guidance based on the knowledge that I have, gained while doing modeling in the US a few years back. I can now apply that knowledge along with my natural ability that I was born with, and the purpose why I am here. Just to help women feel great and better about themselves. I also think that they come to me because I realize the importance of first impression, but also their image in the workplace for them to be able to sell a product or a service or a CD or whatever. So they realize that image does actually count. They're competing with international standards, so sure. It's very important for them to look the part. The key is for me to be in tune with their style personas, because you get different kinds of women. You get somebody that's very dramatic, and you get somebody that's very much more feminine, and soft-spirited, or very eclectic. Yeah. So you have to find that style persona in your client and draw that out from them, and try not to impose your style personality onto them, which I am a boho chic girl. I'm more of a gypsy type of woman. Yeah. But not all artists or clients, can relate to that. Uh-huh. I find sometimes when they come and see me, I've got a weird pair of shoes on, and they will gaze onto my shoes, hoping that, please God, don't let her dress me in those shoes. But it's not them, it's me, I'm more artistic, and if somebody's more of a classicist, then I work with that, or more of a dramatic. And that's the beauty of my industries. You work with such an array or a variety of people every day that it makes it very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And also sorry, Almut, I think it's very important not to compare yourself, and to find your true self.
Sure.
And then work around that.
Yeah.
I actually don't think a lot of people understand the importance of this. But let's say somebody wakes up to, the importance of how you look and how you present yourself. What's the first step you take?
So I think the first thing you need to realize that this is an investment towards your career. I used to think myself in the luxury business, but it's not, because I really find that later on I will explain why I'm saying it's an investment. I just think that first of all you need to realize that you are investing in yourself, just as you would invest in your business cards or your social media or your website. It's the same thing, because it forms a whole. Every time I do motivational speaking, I buy something new to wear because it gives me confidence. So I think a new image would also, what would you say?
It kind of influences how you feel about yourself.
Exactly, it influences your confidence level.
Yeah.
So the first step would be to go for a proper color analysis. I would really start off there, and the reason being because it's the foundation from where you build from there.
All right.
It would guide you towards, when you go for shopping, what colors to avoid, what colors to buy. And the reason why color is so important is because the wrong colors can easily make you look washed out, sick, dull, tired,
oh my goodness,
boring, and sometimes even unintelligent.
I'm putting on my shades. Unintelligent.
Unintelligent.
Wow.
If the color is too overwhelming for your complexion. For instance, if I would walk in here today wearing a bright pink dress, you would think, oh, here comes Barbie. Okay? Shocking pink.
Yeah.
Whereas a woman with Mediterranean descent, coming with dark black hair, olive skin, with a fuchsia dress, you would think, wow, she can carry the color.
Oh.
But for me, with a more muted complexion, the color would wear me, you know, and I would come across.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
color plays a huge role also when it comes to psychological effect of how people perceive you. I think in CEO positions, people like Investec and all those, they take into account, you know, color and how they dress. And that's also why they sometimes employ employees based on the way the people look, because they realize the importance of it. So certain colors can draw more respect from people. Other colors can make you appear more approachable or standoffish, whatever what you're trying to achieve. But yeah, I would say come for a color consultation at first. And with somebody that knows what they're doing. I find that there's a lot of people in our industry with hair colorists and hairstylists. Very few people, I think, know what they're actually doing. It's actually shocking to say, but it's so difficult sometimes for me to refer clients back to hairstylists, you know, to go and do their hair, because sometimes they come back worse than when they went there, worse off as opposed to as to when.
As to when they.
They come back. Just it's worse.
It's worse than when they went.
For a fix.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, I'm Afrikaans speaking, so you just have to bear with me. I'm from the Kalahari. I'm a Kalahari girl. So, I would say start off with a foundation of image, and then start building from there. First your color, and then come to me for your body shape analysis. Because if I can determine your body type, I can also determine styles that suit you. You know, necklines that suit your body type. Because I look at the horizontal, your horizontal type, which would be you're more of a rectangle, a triangle, an inverted triangle, oval shape. And then I also look at your vertical type. So to look at your torso compared to your legs. Is it more balanced, or do you have a longer torso with short legs, or the other way around? That would determine, can you wear high-waisted pants, that's very fashionable at the moment, with crop tops, or should you rather avoid that because you can look, is it disproportional?
Yeah.
Unproportional?
I personally am avoiding crop tops at the moment.
And
it makes me look disproportional.
I think Stone Bear should start wearing
maybe we should wear
crop tops.
But no, listen, I'm joking. But it brings me to my next question: do you treat men and women differently when they come to you, or how does it work?
Definitely. I just want to touch on the last question you asked me. The thing is that people don't understand when they come for consultations. Rome wasn't built in a day.
It looks like, but
when you're looking at a house and you want to renovate it, you don't renovate it overnight. It's something that you build on. So you need to understand that when you come for foundational things, you first need to understand what your color is, what your style is, you know, with regards to your body type, what works, what doesn't work. And then from there on, you go out, and I come in and I do a wardrobe detox, take out all the clothes,
all right,
and then determine what you need in your existing wardrobe, and then go shopping. So over time, your image starts to change. So there's a difference between, starting off slowly and saying, I want to come for a quick makeover. So the makeover would be go in, do your hair, get your makeup, get your clothes, but you would never learn the skill of how to dress yourself. And you would keep on making the same mistakes over and over, and those are expensive mistakes because you keep on wasting money on things that doesn't really work for you.
So it's in your head as well. You have to kind of train yourself to think in a new way.
Think in a new way and break old habits. So with men, I find that I don't get technical with them. We go and we do a color analysis, and I take them shopping. But I do work more with ladies.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel I have a more natural a feel for it because I'm a lady myself. So
of course. I just one question. I'm just curious. Let's say, for example, my favorite color is, it's blue. Now you do a color analysis and you say, no, it should actually be, I don't know,
Pink.
green. What then?
If you do like blue, and I say,
Yes.
I do find clients like that, but then I show them the difference, you know.
Oh, all right.
I actually sometimes take pictures and say, okay, do you like this blue? Yes. Okay, stand there, let me take a picture. This is the blue that does not suit you, but then I dress you in the blue that does suit you, because I find lots of people, when they say, I don't like red, it's like, which red don't you like? Because there's watermelon red, cherry red, brick red, fox red, wine red, burgundy red. So there's such an array of red and blues, and most of the time you can find your own shade of blue and your own shade of green. Yeah, so...
All right. So it's not a very simple answer. There's much more to it than just...
Yeah, and the analysis, I mean, a color analysis itself takes about 2.5 hours to eliminate, look at your eyes, ask you questions about what your hair color was when you were younger, and then we get to the end result.
Okay, so this brings me naturally to my next question. There seems to be a lot going on in the process of analyzing and getting somebody to look better and present themselves better. What are the kind of services that you personally offer?
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate that I don't just do, personal shopping, or I'm not just a stylist. I've been doing it now, I don't know, like I started in 2004, so how long does it make it?
17 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing it.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah, so I've trained myself. I remember I was always teased in school for having my makeup kit stored away in my suitcase and then doing some makeup for the girls in class.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm still doing it. So it just shows you if you...
You've always had a love for it, right?
I always had a love for it.
Natural.
So I do makeup master classes, teaching makeup, and then also looking at, personality of women. Not everybody loves makeup as much as the next one. Looking at ages of clients, their lifestyles, their careers, and then teach them according to that. So makeup masterclass I do color analysis, color sessions with Donna. I do body shape analysis and style, and then I do wardrobe detoxes, go into the wardrobe and then detox the wardrobe.
Wow.
It's a cool term, because it feels like you're going to walk out more healthy.
Get rid of all the clutter, and then determine what is needed to add to your existing wardrobe. And then if you still want to continue with the journey, then we go shopping. So I just finished shopping yesterday. I think we shopped 8 hours straight. The client flew in from Gauteng, and I got home at 9 o'clock at night yesterday.
That's a lot of shopping.
Yeah, but I mean, she looks amazing. She feels incredible. And for me, to see that, the satisfaction I get from
I can
that.
imagine the reward that
And that's also why I left modeling back in the day, because I was after that chase, to see people's lives change. And it's not just because of image. It's just something changes inside of women when they actually realize that they too are beautiful. You just need to give them the tips and the tricks to enhance their own natural beauty. And such as makeup, it's not, makeup is not something where you want to actually apply makeup to see makeup. Or color. You want to see the person. You want to see their eyes, their cheekbones. You want to enhance natural features. So, so, and then I'm a motivational speaker as well.
Well, it sounds very motivating the way you're describing it right now.
Is it?
What you're doing, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I can just imagine how people then walk out with a newfound confidence. Because it sounds to me like when you can match their personality with their style or their
look
image,
and feel,
the look and feel, it would resonate with them. And so especially for artists as well, I think if you have a conflicted style, it will probably translate when you perform in front of
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, imagine how differently people would be affected psychologically in the way they feel on stage and the way they carry themselves if what they're wearing and how they're presenting themselves actually feeds back in a positive and constructive way.
Listen, I promise you, it's instantaneously. If I know I have to go and speak somewhere, even if I have to buy myself a brand new pair of shoes, it has an effect on how I feel when I get up there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I always tell people, you sometimes get students that are like, I don't care, who I am. The world just have to accept me. You're fooling yourself, because the world is unfair, but it's never going to change. So as a Christian, I believe that we should not conform to it, but we need to be wise enough to know how it operates in order to impact it. So
Well, that's good.
I find that my purpose is to package you in a way that when you open your mouth, people actually listen, not look on their watch to see when you're finishing,
Sure.
And I'm tired of seeing boring people out there, because you don't have to look boring. I love creating and making something that's beautiful, even more beautiful for the world to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Donna, I think, artists invest a lot of money into their products, creating their music and, getting their songs out there, but maybe they sometimes neglect this part. And I'm guessing it's pricey. We don't have to go into prices and so, but why would it be a good investment to contact someone like yourself and to get a private style consultant?
So I think it was in 2010, they did a survey and they found that 80% of women only wear 20% of the clothes in her wardrobe.
Wow.
And yet they still say, I've got nothing to wear.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason for that is that they keep on buying the wrong items. So they buy based on what their friend has bought and they think that's going to suit them. They buy based on trends and fashion and think because of the mannequin in the window, shopping window, that's going to suit them. But they don't realize that, or they actually don't know the correct style and color that suits them. So they keep on making the same mistake. For instance, if oversized blazers is something that's very in at the moment, they would go and buy it. But if you've got very broad shoulders and a very narrow waist, you should actually avoid oversized collars and lapels, because it can make you even look broader, almost like Superman.
Oh,
okay, and for a woman, you don't want to look like Superman.
Yeah.
So, certain women don't want to look like Superman.
Yeah.
So yeah, they keep on doing the same thing over and over. And I find that so many times when I go to do wardrobe detoxes, I promise you mountains of clothing that we have to throw away because it's just not working. So what this survey actually what it found that was suggest you've got 300 items in your wardrobe with an average price of 300 Rand, and that was back in 2010. So nowadays it's like 450 and up. But if I'm saying 300, I'm talking about scarves and shoes, and you can easily get 200-300 pieces. Then you're sitting with a 90,000 Rand wardrobe.
Yeah.
If you're only wearing 20%, you've wasted 72,000 Rand of items that's just in that wardrobe that you cannot invest. It's just there and it's wasted. So for me, it's very important to rather know your styles and your colors so that from now on you buy selectively and not compulsively. And also not to be overwhelmed when you go into the shops. So many women complain that when they go shopping, they feel overwhelmed. There's too many colors, too many styles,
options.
too many options. And when you actually go into a shop, you'll see that they've already arranged according to the colors. So it makes it easier. So when you know what your coloring is, to go in and say, there's my autumn colors or my winter or my whatever.
Yeah.
So for that, I think it's a great investment to know, what exactly suits you. And then people, they spend huge numbers, on hair extensions and Botox and fillers and clothing. And they go back frequently to go and maintain that, for your hair color and hairstyle. I mean, if you're thinking about an image consultant or a style consultant like myself, to spend between 13 and 15,000 rand once off, twice in your lifetime, it's nothing, comparing to what you're losing,
Yes.
money-wise, making these mistakes over and over and over again. The only thing that you will come back for is the shopping. But you only do color analysis when you become older. So as your skin tone becomes more muted and your eyes become more muted, you need to do another color analysis as you age. And then also in terms of hair color, if you change hair color, you can get yourself out of your own season. But so normally you only go for a color analysis 2 times in your lifetime. Yeah, so it's not that expensive if you're looking at the investment and how much money you actually save at the end of the day.
Because now you're buying intentionally with the knowledge that you've helped the person to gain.
Exactly.
So they're saving money by coming to you.
Yes, and you look great and you feel great and you get compliments.
What a win-win.
Yeah,
You
why
can
wouldn't
carry
you?
yourself more naturally, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a rhetorical question, I guess. But would you say having a image or a style consultant, let's put it back to the music industry, would benefit the career of an artist?
Yes, I definitely think so. Obviously, talent comes first, However, personal image is part of your branding. Your image, I would say, is a reflection of your music. And it helps people identify with your sound, your message, your benefits, your personality. It also distinguishes you from another artist, Rachel Zoe, she's a Hollywood stylist. She once says that style is a way to say who you are without having to speak. And that is why I would say it's important for an artist to come and see a style consultant. So your image along with your branding forms a unity in terms of what you represent, and you cannot separate the two.
Donna, the idea of an image, these days on social media, it's, if you just scroll through your, everybody's trying to, and I think you said it like 3 seconds to impress people. When do you think does it become a negative thing? When does image become almost, I'm going to use the word toxic,
So I would definitely say when you start to lose your joy. I find lots of women, after they go off social media, they feel depressed, they feel anxious, they feel hopeless.
Wow.
They compare themselves. That is toxic in itself. In 2018, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and as a Christian, God actually told me then, I'm busy restoring your identity in me. And it came through dreams and visions I had. It was profound. I always tell people it was the worst and most difficult year in my life, but spiritually the most amazing. And things like where doctors said you're going to lose all your hair, and for me it was such a shock to realize with chemotherapy I was about to lose all my hair. I'm in the beauty industry. I have to post images of myself on a daily basis for me to get work in. And now all of a sudden I'm not going to have any hair left. So I went to go and walk at the river one day with my dog, and I said, God, you need to tell me, am I going to lose my hair? Because all the oncologists said you're going to lose your hair, you need to prepare for that. And he said to me, go and read Daniel 3, which I didn't know what was going to stand there. And it said, it was a story about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. they went into the fire because they didn't want to bow in front of the king. And so it said when they came out, they did not smell of smoke, their clothes did not scorch, and the hair on their head did not singe. And God said to me, your hair is not going to fall out. You're not going to lose all your hair. And it didn't. So, that was to me, I mean, like 3 o'clock in the morning, where he would literally, like your voice, speak with me, and I would wake up and write down what I just heard, like an audible voice for the first time in my life. So for me, things like that, that actually, I feel God is busy restoring my identity in a beauty industry. And whereas in the past, I would be the one to boost my posts the whole time, in order to get more likes, or feel, depressed when I only get 50 likes and not 500. I'm over that. I'm freed from that. And I feel that's where, that's the intention of God, for everybody to be free of that. I think comparison is the thief of joy. And if you on social media and you find that when you follow accounts, you feel more depressed, more anxious, more faithless, and you have a negative mindset, it's time for you to unfollow those accounts. And start following accounts that boosts your faith, makes you feel optimistic about life, boost your confidence, inspire you. I think social media, you can use it to your own advantage in an amazing way, to inspire and empower you, or it can be detrimental for you. And that is, unfortunately, it's not God's it's not his job, to do that. He says in his word, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. So it is your responsibility to guard your heart in order to stay focused in what you are supposed to do and your purpose. And I also find that it can be distractions, if you constantly look at other accounts, and it keeps you from being focused for where you need to go. So and it can be a huge distraction. I think you should use social media to your advantage and not to your disadvantage. And also going back to, at the end of the day, God is your provider. I mean, at the peak of COVID-19, when everybody lost their jobs, I've never had a greater year.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm just there where I am slowly but surely getting to the eagle that is just soaring above all this mess.
Yeah.
And that is a great place to be.
Wow.
Yeah, you're experiencing freedom and...
Yeah. Donna, thank you for sharing that very personal story and giving us a glimpse into your own life and your spirituality. And I can see the foundation that it forms for you, but also, as you say, the identity that you find in that. Thank you for sharing that story.
You're welcome. I think and that also makes me, it makes it easier to relate to other women with brokenness and identity issues, and insecurity and I'm not the model from Beverly Hills anymore. I'm just the ordinary woman that can relate to other women and help them become the best version of themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Donna, you've shared so much wisdom with us now, but if we have to leave one gem for creatives, because in a sense, I'm almost hearing you saying two things, and you kind of have to hold the tension between the two.
Yes.
So, and on the one end, it's very important how you look and present yourself. On the other end, there is a redemptive idea to say, if you're going to put your trust in God, that they almost seem as like they're in contrast with each other.
Exactly.
But I enjoy the fact that we're holding a tension here.
Yes. Yes.
What wisdom, final nugget of wisdom can you leave for creatives?
I just think, like I said, during this conversation, that it is Bill Johnson. He's a pastor at Bethel Church. He says, God will bless you what you need, but you need to go after what you want. Okay, so in order for you to get what you want, it is important to package yourself right for this world. We are not in heaven, we're in this world. And people will place a price on you based on the way that you look. So I'm not saying conform to this world, but I'm saying use it to your advantage in order to promote yourself and become more successful.
Yeah.
And image plays a big role, you know, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
You yourself, I myself, I'm not going to employ a financial advisor that comes to my house in a Volkswagen Beetle. I'm not, because to me, I'm going to have the perception that this oak doesn't have any money. You know, he's not successful, so why would I?
Yeah.
It's just how we are.
Yes.
Whether we want to admit it or not, you know.
Yeah, perception
And
is reality.
it's perception.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I have a story to tell, actually.
Helmut.
So
Yes,
back in the
word.
days when I started out as a record producer, we had a failed go at starting a record company. That was many moons back, and I was driving a old 1974 Land Rover Series 3 that fell apart, and so on the back of our business failing, I went to see a guy to help me with a little bit, you know, getting me out of trouble financially. And I remember he walked out to me to the car with me, and he said to me, "Okay, so step number one is you're going to get rid of this Land Rover. It's cool and everything, but people are not going to take you serious as a record producer at the age of 23. You need to kind of look like..."
And it's so harsh to hear that, but it is the reality.
Yeah.
I always tell my students, when I had students about, 3 years ago, I was coaching students. So I said to them, you know, park your Fola 3 blocks down and then walk to your meeting. You know?
Yeah.
That is just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's a very cool vintage
Exactly.
Fola.
And it also depends on your career, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
It depends on where you want to go and what do you do.
Yes.
What is it that you want to communicate at the end of the day?
Exactly. Yeah.
So Donna, last question. Helmut and I just want to find out from you as a professional private style image consultant, is there hope for us to make it in the music industry? We're a bit unsure.
There's always
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe this video and leave some comments.
Leave advice.
No, listen, it was great fun having you on the show today.
Thank
on
you
the
so much. I
podcast.
really feel honored that you have invited me.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and sharing your wisdom and your experience. And we will put your contact details as well underneath this video.
Perfect.
So do you want to say goodbye to the...
Yeah, well,
To the fantastic people.
from my side as well. Thank you for watching The Bomb, listening to The Bomb, if you're on Spotify or Apple. And thank you to Donna Kennedy-Meyer for joining us today. If you did enjoy this, please press the like and subscribe button and share the news. From us, cheers.